Hey, Shalom. Shalom. Okay, all praises to Yahweh Bashim Shai. The Trump administration. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the elect and all the brothers pushing us work in sincerity and truth. This is a brother to mine from James, Toronto, coming at you with another video. Take a look at this. Has begun dismantling parts of the slavery memorial at a historical site in Center City, Philadelphia. The outdoor exhibit is at the mansion where President George Washington and John Adams lived and worked at one time. It had been closed since late last year for renovations. It's not clear why the exhibit is being taken down, but a local group is threatening legal action. Well, we know why they're taking it down, because they're trying to run from that shameful history that has covered America for hundreds of years. You know, from the inception, from the murdering of the Native Americans, stealing their land, and also bringing the Southern Kingdom over here in slavery. Right? They're not really too shame about the Native American, but they're very shame about the slavery of the so-called blacks, because guess what? The Native Americans have separated themselves. The so-called blacks, right? They have integrated themselves into society. So once in a while, these things will come up, and plus, the Jim Crow and all these other things, right? Shameful spewing, man. This is what it is. Shameful spewing. Let's get it in Habakkuk 2 and $16. Filled with shameful glory, and drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be thy glory. Right? And this is the shameful spewing that they're trying to hide. Right? It says here they're not too sure why they're taking it down, but we know why they're taking it down. They can take it down all they want, to be honest with you, because this is already sealed in blood. Okay? It's already sealed in blood, because the angels have already recorded this. The angels have recorded it, and even the Lord, John the Revelator has already seen this. Okay? Revelation 17 and 6, and it says, and I saw the woman drunk with the blood of the saints, and with the blood of the martyrs of the Mashiach Yahweh Bashim Shai, and I saw her, and I wondered with great admiration. So you cannot, you can take it down. We don't give a shit. They know why they're doing that, because after a couple of generations, people tend to forget. People get complacent. They don't teach their children about the past, and they can just erase the past, right? They can erase whatever is whatever truth is out there, and then they can flip the narrative, right? They're already starting to call it the migration, right? The Atlantic migration. That's what they've called it, right? They're trying to like pretty much flip the narrative. Atlantic slave trade, forced maritime migration in history. See, they're trying to call it a migration in history, forcible moving to 10 to 13 million. It's more than that. And even our people trying to deny it, right? I think in schools they're trying to call it the migration or some shit like that, transatlantic migration, as opposed to the slave trade. But I think some people, they pretty much rose up against that the farce, right? Has begun so the blood of the saints is already etched in blood, man. It's already signed, sealed, and delivered. How about Shemir Shai? It's coming back here to save his saints. Okay? So you can take these pictures down. You can lie to the new generation that's about to come after us if we're still here. You can lie to them, but the Lord will have his men out here. The elect will be sealed, right? And the earth also will help the woman, right? The earth helped the woman, okay? Let's get Revelation 12 through the archaeology. And the earth helped the woman, right? The woman being Israel, right? And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood, which, this is what the persecution from the dragon, which, these Romans, which are these Edomites, cast out of his mouth. right? Because they come with violence, they come with blood spilling, right? They come with lies. Anything that these Edomites that they do is contrary to the truth, right? And this is what is about to happen. They're covering themselves, covering up their lies because they know the truth, right? The truth is they brought the children of Israel over here as collateral, man. We're POWs, right? And this is what they're doing. They're trying to cover that history up because it's shameful to them, right? They don't want to be known as a nation that enslave a whole other nation and build up their nation. But I think they should be proud of it. This is it's rulership, right? The Lord gave us into your hands. The only thing is you don't know how to be a ruler. When our iniquity was done, you pretty much you continued the what's the word I'm looking for? You continued the persecution, I think. It's not Matthew I'm looking for. It's not Timothy either. I think it's in Amos. Is it Amos? Amos. Yeah, this is Amos. Okay. Continued the affliction. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Affliction. You forward the affliction. Forward. Salakia. Trying to remember the scripture where it is. Forward the affliction. Okay. Zechariah 1:15, and it says, I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, which these Edomites, these Ishmaelites. So they're all battling each other now too, right? When you go to Psalm 83, but mainly Esau, Edom, for I was but a little displeased, and they help for the affliction, right? You don't have to take it out. You can take it out of your school, but you can always Google it. Okay, there's images right here. This is in the Congo right here, right? This is a Judite, right? This picture is there. There's artifacts, of you leading us into slavery, right? There's so many things on the internet that you can't deny. Okay, whether people want to say that we're native to this country or whatever the case may be, the Lord didn't say that. We're native to the east. Jerusalem is the mother of us all. Picking of cottons, and even when the slavery was done, you had a thing called sharecropping, right? Sharecropping meaning it's an agriculture system where a landowner allows a tenant to use their land in exchange for a portion of the crops produced, typically providing a tool, seeds, and housing. Right? It emerges a dominant, often exploitative system in the U.S. Okay, so they pretty much they put Jake into slavery again. Right? The U.S. South post-Civil War, keeping many former slaves and poor farmers in a cycle of debt. Okay, this is also in your in that book that the angels are written down. Okay, all the things that you've done to the saints. Let's get into Jim Crow, right? And I'm not even going to get into what you did in slavery. These are also another part of you forward in the affliction. Jim Crow laws will state that local statutes enacted primarily in the southern United States, which it was also in the northern United States, okay? The late 1900s and 1960s, mandating rigid racial segregation and systemic oppression of African Americans, enforced separate but equal status, resulting in inferior segregated public facilities, schools, and transportation, which, this is supposed to be a thing because, we're in captivity, right? But this is also you forwarding the affliction after it was done, right? When the Lord said no more, you still forward it, okay? What else did you do? Sundown towns. Let's get sundown towns. Okay. Sundown towns in America. I'm not going to just do Texas, right? What's a sundown town? A sundown town was an all-white community that systematically excluded non-white people, right? Most frequently African Americans. That's what it was made for. Okay. From living there, or even staying overnight. So if you get caught in these towns, you're gonna be hanging on a tree the next day. The term originated from signs posted at towns limits warning minorities, do not let the sun go down on you in. Right? It says here violence and intimidation. Mobs sometimes include law enforcement, right? The law enforcement was involved in this. Use harassment, threats, arson, and even lynching to force minorities to leave that town. Let's say you're traveling overnight, your car gets stuck, you're done. If you try to get into a hotel, you're done. Okay? Targeted groups. While African Americans were the primary targets, other groups were also included: Chinese American, Mexican, which Israelites, Native Americans, Israelites. Okay? Impact of travel. Existence of these towns made road travel dangerous for Black Americans. This was mainly for Jake, okay? Leading to a publication of sources like the Negro Motorist Green Book, all right, which listed safe accommodations and businesses that were, you can safely hide. It says a modern legacy, while explicit laws and signs are gone, many former sundown towns remain overwhelmingly white to this day and continue to deal with the legacy of their past. So shameful spewing in the form of lower diversity and ongoing racial inequities. Some cities have formally acknowledged and apologized for their history as sundown towns. Right? You could go into that. Let's see what these things look like. So these are all, even in the north, right? A historical database of sundown towns. Even in the north, you have your New York and places like that. There are places in Boston that you can go. Okay? Illinois, Wisconsin, right? Chicago, Ohio, right? This was all over the place, man. Sundown town was a serious thing for Jake. That's why you have those songs like "Strange Fruit" from Billie Holiday. Hey, man, this is not a joke. This is forwarding the affliction, right? Segregation, which is sundown towns, right? There are books on these things, so you can try to destroy artifacts. Memorial at a historical site in Center City on TikTok that usually he goes around, pastor, shows history of slavery, because I usually come across as to be 150 years. Number one. Let me stop. Or 200 years ago, when see, there's a lot of things on what happened, man. Like, so you can take these out of your museum. So I've just spent 5 days. It's fine, right? You can do that, but it's already recorded, right? So it doesn't matter what you do. The Lord is still hell bent on sending His Son back here for revenge, and plus, you've pierced the Lord. Okay, you pierced Him. The same people, right? So there's a lot of things you gotta answer for. You gotta answer for that. You gotta answer for touching the Lord. You gotta answer for touching the Lord, the apple of His eyes. The apple of the Lord's eyes, okay, which are the Israelites. Oh, you're finished, man. Zechariah 2 and 8, and it says, "For thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nation which spoil you, for he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye. The nation that spoil us are the Edomites, and you touched the apple of the Lord's eye, which are the Israelites. The 12 tribes you touched. So you gotta pay for that. All right? Shalom.